Welcome everyone to our first episode of UCT Hot Ones. We're here with Regan Kelly, all the way from Melbourne, Australia, our exchange student for this year. Thank you so much for being here on the show today, Regan.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so honestly, are you excited for this?
Excited, a bit nervous, but keen to get into it.
Alright, I'll ask you questions and then we'll proceed one by one from the least hot one, Tapatio, to the end, Hellfire. So, Regan, your first impressions of the Netherlands. I'll prepare the chicken nuggets while you...
Thank you very much. Netherlands have been great. It's a pretty similar in a lot of aspects to home. Not too much culture shock, but it's a really nice place, really welcoming. The people have been so kind. Couldn't have asked for anything better, to be honest.
Okay, I want you to try the first one.
Thank you very much.
Tapatio.
Thank you.
Wait, let's cheers on it.
Cheers.
But so you were talking about culture shock. What is really something you're missing from home? Is there anything you really like, I wish the Netherlands had this?
Maybe the sun. The sun I've been missing a bit, but sometimes you get a little bit of it peeking through, but it's still not too bad. Not too bad. Or maybe, I don't know, sometimes family can be nice to have near, but it's good to experience something different.
But have you had the feeling, that you've, established a family here in the Netherlands by any chance?
I think so. Especially within the Atlas community, it's been very, very nice to have that community.
And what else do you do as like an exchange student to really make yourself feel at home?
Well, feel at home, I guess, do a lot of things I would do at home, like the same sort of...
It's already starting to get hot, man. Oh my god, I'm already sweating.
We just had the first one.
I'm telling you, this is not good.
Probably the things I have to write.
Oh, this is... Well, we're back after a short commercial break. So I wanted to ask, how was the first nugget? Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was nice. It was absolutely fine for me. How was it for you, Lars?
You know what? We'll move on with the next question, with the next nugget. So now we have actually a shawarma sauce from Dawson's. So I'll give you the honor. Nice little lot of sauce.
Thank you very much,
I'm
sir.
gonna die. So
cheers for years.
Yeah. This is really good, guys. Great. I should not be eating while doing this, by the way. But okay. So, you said you enjoyed the nuggets. What's your favorite food in the Netherlands?
My favorite food in the Netherlands?
Your favorite Dutch food?
I have been enjoying some of the stuff at Co-op, but I have to say, Kippeling...
Co-op is the supermarket on campus?
It is. But I would have to say Kippeling.
Kippeling, the nice fried fish?
Yeah. Some friends introduced me to that, and it's quite nice. It's a nice little take on it. Little Dutch treat. Yeah.
All right. But now to switch over to a complete different direction, let's focus from food to your academics. You're here on an exchange agreement. What is it really about? Where, what area, what do you do here?
So back at home, I study a Bachelor of Geospatial Science, which is essentially mapping science. And there wasn't a huge amount of places I could go for that. And one of the applicable places was at Twente, because I have ITC. So as a consequence, I do half my ECs at ITC, which usually does master's programs. And then I'm doing the other half at Atlas.
Yes, our program.
Yeah.
All right. How have you been enjoying the classes at Atlas? What have you been doing?
Yeah, at Atlas, I've been working on group projects, been doing the semester 3 group project, statistics and interdisciplinary research methods, and they're all really interesting, new take on studying.
Okay, so we had the second nugget. I want to move on to the third nugget, which is the Scotch bonnet and ginger sauce. I'm already sweating. I'm basically dying, but as you can see, our guest has not been dying, so yeah.
Thanks. I'll take them on with more.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
that's all right. So you've been talking about semester 3 project. We have semester project throughout Atlas, in which we work together in groups. We get a prompt. Everyone gets a different prompt, and we work together through a multidisciplinary approach. And how have you found this multidisciplinary approach? Because you're very much, at least from what I heard, very much focused on cartography and just mapping geospatial data. But within Atlas, there's many people from different disciplines. How have you enjoyed working with them?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. As you said, like most of my education has been just one.
It's so spicy.
For most of my education, it's been in one field, one discipline, and then in Atlas, I've had to work together with a lot of other people, and also the parts that I would normally work on weren't necessary with our group project, which was different at the start. But I think it's very good to realise what is needed and what is not needed.
No, what's needed right now, I think what's needed now, what's needed right now is some milk. So can people behind the cameras grab me some milk? I really need some milk. Yeah, thank you. This is the third one, by the way. This is not going well. That's our camera girl, Paula, and our director of the video. So, yeah, you know, would you like to care more about, to talk more about your semester project? About what did you do specific? How did you do it?
So for our semester project, my group and I, we looked at the satisfaction of students that live in the Johannesburg building, which, as the students will know, is the building where they study but also live, because it's the university college, which it was a new concept for me.
So residential college, basically. You live where you study.
Yeah, which was a new experience for me, and it's very interesting because I had no idea this sort of thing existed. Then we studied it for most of a semester. Yeah.
All right, and before I move on to the next question, we move on to our next nugget. The secret aardvark nugget from habanero hot sauce. I think this is gonna be an easy one. I've been doing pretty well. I see our guest has been sweating a lot. So please take them off the more sauce.
Yeah, of course I will. Yes. Thank you, lads. Cheers, big
Cheers. So, you know, your semester project, you were talking about DB and so the Dienenburg. And how has it been exploring this concept of a residential college? What have you learned from it? Because sadly you've not been able to experience it yourself because you live on campus, right? But you don't live where you study. But how has it been, you know, exploring that part of Atlas?
Yeah, it's been really cool, to be honest, because I've got to see how the second years have interpreted it, also comparing it with the first years who are now living there, who are getting, and we were able to get data straight from the people who are there pretty much all day, every day. And I think it's very beneficial in a lot of ways to gain that community, to live and study in the one spot with the same people. There are certain drawbacks, but I think overall it has a lot of good benefits.
And you know, you did the experiments, but how did you do them? Because for our semester project, you know, we had to go to the BMS lab, our psychology lab, our social science lab. What kind of methods did you apply within your study?
So for our study, we did a survey for the different students in the first year. And then from that, we were able to base focus group questions and focus group sessions. And then as an additional source of data, we also use eye tracking glasses. So I had people walk through the building, wear eye tracking glasses, and try to examine what they focused on, whilst they also talked about, and then be able to compare those two and see if there was any usable information that we could extract.
And your participants were first years, right?
Yes.
So how do how have you experienced the integration of first years within Atlas? But before you answer that question, let's move on to our next sauce, the Dirty Dick's hot sauce. It's a tropical sauce.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You really put a different amount of mine versus yours.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But this one was actually really nice. I tried it before.
Cheers. You too.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That was really nice.
That was really good. How have you been enjoying the nuggets so far?
I think pretty good. Who cooked them?
My air fryer did.
Oh, lovely. Compliments to the chef.
Yeah, so Yeah, have you been feeling that Alles is really a community?
I've gotten that feeling. I felt like I've been able to have a community here through Atlas. Most of my education has been online. When I started university, it was at the start of COVID, and that resulted in everything being very disconnected. And here, there's been able to have that feeling of belonging, I think, which is very needed, especially when so much work is needed to be group work, especially later on in life, that it's a very good experience to be able to get that practice and have that good connection.
So yeah, what have you felt that were your main benefits of having studied here?
The friends I've made. I think I've made a really tremendous group of friends. The experience, like I've never used some of the technology like the eye tracking glasses before. And being able to have that university experience in that life, because being able to live on campus, study on campus, and then relate to other people on campus is something I've always wished for, and I think I've been able to have.
A good experience. So yeah, let's move on to the next hot sauce, the heartbeat. So yeah, my heart is already beating fast, but let's just go.
Thank you, sir.
We have to get through this quick because I'm dying. I'm honestly.
Cheers.
Cheers. So yeah, you're talking about these friendships that you've made, but not only does Alles have stuff in place for that, for the internationalization and really integrating people, but also, I know you're part of ESN, our Erasmus Student Network, which is a network by students throughout the entirety of Europe who help integrating exchange students. So how has that been?
It's been great. I'm not a part of it, but I've gone to pretty much nearly every event, and I think it's a fantastic way to meet new people, especially people in the same situation, because they do a lot of low-key events, but also they've done a lot of parties, which is never too bad of a thing. And even though I haven't met any other Australians, I think it's kind of good in a way because you get to meet people from all different backgrounds and learn from that experience and make friends all around the world. Like, I would highly recommend anyone to go to as many of those as I can.
Yeah, I agree with you. I often go to them myself, not even as an international, but they're just great for the spirit of internationalization, I would say. All right, so you were talking about, parties and, ESN. So let's move away from the more academic stuff. Let's move to some more interesting questions,
Okay.
So I would like to know, if you were an animal, what would you describe yourself as?
As an animal?
As an animal, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna say probably maybe like a beaver, I think.
Why? They're making vanilla ice from your anal glands.
Or maybe if I was to relate it, maybe an animal that I could see myself as, because it's Australian, it's a bit cheeky, it's a bit brutish, but a wombat.
A wombat?
If you don't know what a wombat is.
You also swear poop.
Yeah, sometimes.
Let's go.
Okay, it really depends on the day.
Well, on that note, let's try the new nugget with the new sauce. So, we've now talked about what animal you are, but I want to know some more about yourself. I want to know what you're in the shower or you're in the car. You have to put on one song just to jam to, just to really dance to, open up your hips. What song would you choose?
What song would I choose? Oh, that's getting a little hot.
Spicy? Wow. I don't know anything, but yeah, it's getting a little bit spicy now.
A song to dance to rev me up.
Ooh.
I'd have to say maybe September by Earth, Wind and Fire. Just a good old tune.
The groove, you like the 70s groove? Or what is it, 90s, 80s?
I think that was 70s or 80s. What about you, Les?
What I like right now? I like Milk. Yeah. That one's really spicy. I don't know how you're not dying.
It has a kick to it, but I'm not going too bad. It's more saliva build-up,
Yeah. Yeah. Can we take a break for a second? Holy... talking about animals and stuff, you've seen probably some, I know recently you've traveled to Svalbard, you've seen some reindeer, some, maybe polar bears. Yeah, but I know you're a travel guy, but what I want to know, where do you want to travel to next? What is really, if you had to plan your dream vacation, what would it be? Also, next up we're gonna try the bomb, and
Yeah, I'm not looking
yeah,
forward
this
to
one is
that
notorious for being very pungent. I don't think anyone of us has tried it, but yeah, let's go.
Where I'd travel to if I could. I've been very fortunate. I've done quite a lot of Europe because I took a gap year after high school, and
You're in
also-
Europe now.
Exactly, and got to travel quite a bit now. But I think next I'd like to either go to New Zealand and some Pacific Islands because they're so close, but never been able to go. Or maybe a trip in Central Asia, like Mongolia.
Ooh.
Kyrgyzstan would be very cool.
You wanna? Yeah, I agree with you. Do you know a little bit of Mongolian throat singing by any chance?
I don't, but I don't mind listening to it. There's a cool band called The Who.
The Who.
Yeah. Oh, very
So let's try.
conservative.
Yeah, I'm very conservative with. Oh, you want to do more? Sure. This is, you're writing your own death sentence, but yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Cheers.
See you on the other side.
See you on the other side. Yeah. So, but you know, traveling. You experience a lot.
Oh, that's
this is
quite-
a new type of spice.
That's quite awful.
Yeah, that's quite awful. I know it's very pungent. But what's the spiciest thing you've eaten so far in your life?
Spiciest thing. Oh. It's not. I think if we put more, it would be way worse. But I think the spiciest thing I've ever eaten was just a very hot curry at my local Indian restaurant that I went to throughout COVID to build up my spice levels. Mm-hmm. Maybe you should try it next.
I don't think I'm built for spicy foods. Not gonna lie. But spicy foods, whatever. I'm pretty proud of doing what I'm doing now. What is your proudest moment in life?
My proudest moment.
I want to know what really made you proud of yourself.
My proudest moment would probably be that I've travelled a lot by myself. I've done probably about 5 months altogether by myself backpacking, or just coming on exchange, doing this, being a bit scared, but yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. So travel. You're proud of traveling. Woo! This last one really hit, don't you think? I think this one really hit me.
Not too bad.
Really, you're really saying that to me right now.
I'm sorry.
I think I'm gonna end this kitchen roll is gonna empty by the end of this. They're dying behind the camera too, eh? They're like laughing. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill them after we're done.
They're really enjoying it.
Yeah,
I don't blame
they're
them.
enjoying this too much, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I am too.
Travel, proudest moments, exchange. What's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen on your travels?
Probably this right now. See,
I don't think this is beautiful.
the most beautiful thing I've seen in my travels would probably have to be the view from Ben Nevis in Scotland.
Ooh.
Or maybe even in Picos de Europa National Park in Spain. They were both very beautiful. I'd recommend them.
All right, so let's try the next one. It's called burn after eating.
Wonderful.
So while you think about this, while you try to conquer the spice levels, what's really something? Your comfort watch, your guilty pleasure.
My favorite TV show would probably have to be It's
Well,
Awakening.
nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad. A little bit of kick, but not too bad. Would have to be probably It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A really good comedy show. A bit strange at times, but or even like I was a big fan of Game of Thrones when it was out and running. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Les? What's yours?
Mine is An Idiot Abroad, because I can relate to it myself.
Yeah.
But it's a really good series with Carl Pilkington. Everyone should watch it. After you've watched, of course, all the other videos on the UCT YouTube channel. That's very important. Comment down below what your favorite show is, and let us know. And maybe we'll see you on that show next year. But yeah, let's try the hottest one. I'm ready for it, honestly. I'm done after this. I'm also gonna just finish all the chicken nuggets because I'm dying over here. Yeah, but
Thank you for the journey.
thank you for the journey. And the journey is just being started. Alright, by the way, this is the Hellfire sauce. It's around 500,000 Scoville units. I think it took a bit too much, but yeah.
Not too bad. Bit of a hit to the throat. How are you going?
I'm doing great. So, last but not least, is there anything you want to tell to the Allah's community?
I think enjoy it while you can. Take risks. Have fun. Go for it. Like, I've really enjoyed Atlas, and if you're tempted with it, give it a try. I think it's worth it.
Alright, so last but not least, I'll go off camera for a bit, but you stay here.
Okay.
I have something to give you. But we want to thank you for being such a good student, for being such a nice person to the community.
Thank you.
And so, we want to give you a nice little present, a hoodie from the UCT that I'm wearing too, of course. If you want to buy it, the link is down below. Technically it's not. Come to Atlas, you can buy it. But yes.
Oh, well,
here you go.
Thank you very much. You definitely did not need to do that, so thank you.
Yes, so thank you for watching, guys. I think we've survived.
Yeah.
I think you've survived.
I don't know what was the worst one, but yeah, they were,
I think for me the bomb was the worst one. I'm not gonna lie.
I think it was the flavour. The flavour was a bit
horrible.
pungent.
Yeah. And the nicest one, let's choose the nice one before we leave. For me, it's the tropical one.
I think that one was really nice too. This one had a little bit of nice flavour, even though it hurt. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Les.
And see you guys later.